one thing I love about Iceland, it is abundance of myths and tales and sagas and all the fantastic creatures that populate these histories. And this is the land of the elves, this is the land of trolls living in the rocks. But as I have a scientific mindset, I need to see one before really and truly believing in it. I need to shake his hands. I need to find the elves and just shake these little hands vigorously before buying into the story. Because this is how scientific thinking goes. No, we have our theories, and then we need empirical evidences to support those theories that we have. That's why I got confused when I moved from studying natural sciences into studying economics. And that's why, because if you open a textbook of economics, you don't only have theories and principles and fundamental ideas and equations and all of that things. You also have delusions and paradoxes. Now, a paradox is when empirical evidence, when reality contradicts totally what is expected by theory. And in economics, especially mainstream or orthodox economics, there are many of those paradoxes. We can list some: the Jevons paradox, Easterlin paradox, the paradox of plenty, the Lucas paradox, and so on. You find many of those when you study economics. But on a more general ground, how paradoxical is that something like war actually creates economic welfare for somebody? How paradoxical is that poverty means malnutrition and obesity, depending on which country you are living in? How paradoxical is that some of the countries that are the richest in natural resources and mineral resources from the global south are actually among the poorest in economic terms? How paradoxical is all that? How do you explain all of that? Recently, we published a paper where we brought together many of these paradoxes. And when you see all of this in a single picture, you really get the idea that mainstream economic policymaking is based not on very solid grounds. It is, in fact, based on theories that do not correspond with what they observe in reality, in the real world. And this is troublesome. So there is this idea that mainstream economics is based on myths, at least to a certain extent. And economics is also, like Iceland, though, then populated by elves and trolls and all these fantastic creatures. But how can you believe in the elf of economic growth, of continuous economic growth, on a planet where we know that resources are limited and cycles are limited as well? We have physical boundaries. How can you buy into that story? How can you believe that elf exists? How can you believe that the elf of money equals happiness does exist, when we are seeing that very rich people in unequal countries are spending this extra money to build fences around their houses or around their neighborhoods, or to fix their depression, or they are using this money to pay armed guards at their doors? Now, in the United States only, there are over 5 million people employed in the guard labor sector. 5 million people, this is like around 15 times the population of Iceland. So you have 15 times Iceland just employed as labor guard. Now, what economists say, or some economists say, about the environmental and social problem we create while our economies are growing, they say that these impacts and this problem will rise, but then when we grew enough, we will start fixing this problem. But how do you fix the loss of a species? How do you fix that? How you reverse that? How do you fix the loss of human lives due to critical levels of air pollution? How do you fix that? How do you reverse that? There is, however, a lot of people also within economics in more heterodox subdisciplines, I would say, or fields of economics that are not buying into all those myths. And they are asking, together also with students in business and economic school, for a reality check of all these economic theories. And there is a movement on the rise, which is try to bring together all of these voices, all of these students asking to their teachers for economics to be taught in a different way, in a more pluralistic way, from a broader perspective, and not just the mainstream vision. And all of these voices are brought together in an alliance of which I am a proud member, the Wellbeing Economy Alliance, which has the aim of bringing together all these people and organizations, students and researchers all over the world, just bring them together and show how big is this movement, and to try to reshift, to rethink what is really mainstream, what is really the prevalent thinking of economics today. And this alliance is made of real people you can shake hands with, and not just raw and health and fantastic creatures. Thank you.